Good morning to one and all. Today I would like to start the lesson, the poem Lucy Gray. It is written by William Wordsworth. He is a romantic poet. He was born on 7th April 1770 and died on 23rd April 1850. He is a major romantic poet who, with Taylor Coleridge, helped to launch the Romantic Age in English literature with their joint publication, Lyrical Ballads, which was written in 1798. He was Britain's poet laureate from 1843 until his death. Wordsworth's famous work is generally considered to be the prelude, but here he describes the poet Lucy Gray about a girl. It's a tragic poem about a beautiful girl who gets lost in the countryside. Okay, so Lucy Gray poem was published in the second edition of Lyrical Ballads. This is written by Wordsworth, based upon a real account of death of a little girl, narrated to him by his sister Dorothy. The girl here, the girl lived somewhere in the western countryside with her parents. So Lucy Gray had a small family and no friends. As a solitary child, she had no mate or no someone to talk or play or share. So this poem is a ballad, means a narrative poem. It is like a story. It's written lyrically. A scenic view stands in front of the eyes while reading it. So let's discuss the introduction of this poem. So it's a ballad. It narrates the tragic incident of a girl Lucy. It shows Wordsworth as a romantic poet of nature. So this gives a clear picture of romanticism. Huh? So let's discuss it's this poem, which is a fine ballad. What's the theme of the poem? It narrates the soul-stirring story of a sweet girl, Lucy. She lived with her parents in a cottage on a wild moor. She had no friend, playmate, or companion, but she was the sweetest product of nature. Let's discuss in brief the stanza wise. In your first two stanzas, the poet often hears Lucy Gray, and one day he crosses the wild area. That means the middle of a snow area. There he chances to meet her in the evening. It is not Lucy, it is Lucy's spirit. How does she look? She is very beautiful and a lonely child. She has no friend. She lives on a wild moorland. She is a solitary girl. Okay. Here the poet says that she she is the most beautiful and innocent thing in the world forever. Nothing can be compared to her. The poet provides here foreshadowing for the rest of the poem. Okay, and in the last stanza of second line, the poet uses hyperbole. Hyperbole means to highly exaggerate or appreciates. Because he is saying that Lucy Gray is the sweetest thing that ever grew beside a human door. Now let's move to third and fourth stanza. Here the poet is inviting us to see her by saying that we can witness a fawn playing in front of her door and a hare playing on the green grass, but you cannot see like Lucy's sweet face. So nothing can be compared to Lucy. Okay, now the poet starts telling the story. One day, Lucy's mother went to the market, and then in the afternoon, gradually the storm came. Therefore, her father tells her daughter to take her mother back from the market. He means your father. Father tells her that it will be a stormy night and she must go to the market. She means Lucy, and take a lantern to light the passage and accompany her mother through the snowy path, and mother can come back comfortably. Now let's move to fifth and sixth stanza. Lucy replies to her father that she will do it gladly. It means Lucy is very obedient child, and it is not too late because the master clock has just gone. Master clock means church clock has just 2 o'clock and the sky is clear then. Okay, so she decides to start, and she answers her father confidently that she will bring back her mother easily before the storm comes. Okay, listening to this, her father starts his sickle and snapped a faggot band and started back his work, wooden work. At the same time, Lucy takes the lantern in her hand and goes forward. Now let's move to seventh and eighth stanza. Then Lucy goes and goes on. Due to the upcoming storm, the mountain row is not happy. It starts disturbing snow, and the severe snow is flying and dispersing with our feet. It rises up like smoke. It means the smoke, the snow. But the storm came before its time. Lucy could not expect the storm could come as early as possible. So she did not stop. She climbs up and down through several mountains. But finally, she never reaches the town. It means what happened? Somewhere Lucy might have been stuck and dead. When her mother comes home and finds that Lucy is not yet at home, okay, then the parents become desperate, go out to find her, and shout everywhere to find her. But they neither find their daughter nor her voice. Okay, and nothing can guide them to her, to reach to her. When the evening comes, they stand on the hill and see all over the moorland. They had a little hope whether Lucy is there or not. And from there, they see a wooden bridge which is near to their home, but find nothing. Finally they cry and go back to the home, and they think that they will meet in heaven again. Then they felt that Lucy is dead, and after their death they can meet Lucy again. But at the same time, while thinking and moving, Lucy's mother watches Lucy's footprints on the snow, and the footprints are on the downward, the steep hill edge. Then By tracking the marks, they trace them through a hawthorn hedge and by the long stone wall. Then they go at last to an open field, moorland, and there are the same marks of Lucy's footprints. And from there also they are tracking the signs too, the footprints. And then they come on a bridge, and on a snowy bank they follow the footmarks one by one, and they come to the middle of the plank, and from there all her sign and footmarks are disappeared. It seems that it seems to the parents that she fell down from there and she stuck and died. From that day onwards, they felt very sad. Okay, since that time onwards, many people believe that she is immortal and she is like a living child, and people can see her sweet face. They can hear her voice because the people think that she becomes immortal. So people can see her alone who visited on the smooth and rough paths of the snow. And that girl who moves solitarily never looks back again because she is immortal, and she's used to sing solitary songs that are now parts of the winds. She has now become the part of nature. Here the poet describes the nature in a beautiful manner. So it is one of the magnus opus works of Wordsworth. Magnus opus means greatest. So let us come to literary style and devices. William Wordsworth has applied aesthetic elements of beauty and features in this poem using five senses. Here he uses the devices. He makes the scene in front of the reader to experience it. He has employed a vast theme of beauty in this poem, as it is his beauty is Wordsworth's major weapon. He uses phrases like hawthorn hedge, solitary song. Here H and H are repeated, S and S are repeated. Whistles in the wind, W and W are repeated of initial words. So they are called alliterations. Here the poet uses also hyperbole, which is highly appreciated Lucy Gray. So hyperbole is the evident in the second stanza's last line. The sweetest thing that ever grew beside a human door. Beside a human door, the sweetest thing is Lucy's. Okay, so thank you for watching this video.